Hey, we need it in there. We need to get in the end zone, all right? Keep your hands in, no mistakes.
People think the Broncos started with Elway, but there was a whole history before that.
There's some great, the Broncos organization's amazing.
Gosh, I mean, you're doing this list, I'm going, man, the Broncos have had some greats.
This is as good a list as you're going to get. What? Number 9.
How is that possibly right?
Maybe 8 in the box.
That has to be better than 7.
This would be great.
Wrong.
5 yards, we win the game.
He's got the best number, 4 rings.
Is it number 2?
Has to be the number 1. Laughable.
There is no question. Number 1. Best ever.
With 3 Lombardi trophies,
This one's for John.
8 AFC championships,
We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
and only 6 losing seasons since 1975,
This is our division. This is our division.
the Broncos are alpha dogs of the NFL.
A record-setting performance by Peyton Manning, his 51st touchdown pass.
Denver was also home to one of the greatest underdog stories in league history.
There's only one person that carries the ball right here.
Tim Tebow has a Bronco touchdown.
It's over in Denver.
Can he throw a football? Not so great. But he's always winning the games. He's like grandma in the Vegas who's like, one-arm bandit, I won $1 million. How did I do it? I don't know. I'm grandma at the one-arm bandit.
Limiting our list to 10 Denver legends was a mile-high task, and some tough calls had to be made. We'll let you know up front that Jay Cutler didn't make the cut.
Are you serious? That's horrible. I mean, that's horrible.
Cutler's got to be in the top 5.
Jay's not on the list.
What?
He's not on our top 10, so please voice your displeasure at Jay Cutler not being on this list.
That's insane. Jay Cutler went to the Pro Bowl.
Yes, Jay Cutler made a single Pro Bowl, but our list has Broncos who made multiple trips to Hawaii.
There's not one thing they've done to stop us, right?
Or had a big impact in a short period of time. Our number 10 Bronco is just getting warmed up and is already a franchise great.
No other place I'd rather be.
The number 10 Bronco of all time, Von Miller.
Oh! Give me 2!
I like a man named Vaughn. In Germany, Vaughn is a middle name, like Thomas von Humboldt, you know. He's silent Von Miller, which I like. So when I say his name, I always go, Von Miller. Von Miller.
I would put Von Miller even higher than 10. Because when you think about it, they don't win that Super Bowl without Von Miller.
Von Miller with the sack.
He was the very best on the defense that was the best.
The ball is free. Touchdown, Denver.
The Broncos have 3 Super Bowl wins. 3 players are responsible for those wins. John Elway, Terrell Davis, and Von Miller. As such, Von Miller should be number 3, not number 10 on the list.
How is Von Miller only number 10 on this list?
Ooh, that's pretty low, right? For Von Miller? I mean, he's the best pass rusher in the NFL. He's like already a Hall of Famer.
Completely wrong. Number 10, I can't think of 9 other Broncos I would have in front of Von Miller.
Welcome to the party, Von Miller.
About that action, bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang.
He did worse on this list than he did on Dancing with the Stars.
Our number 10 Bronco finished tied for 7th on Dancing with the Stars, 1 spot behind Full House star Jodie Sweetin.
Yeah, it's tough that he lost to Stephanie Tanner in a dance competition, but Stephanie Tanner can't get around a left tackle.
Von Miller just ran over the tackle.
Tom Brady has nightmares, and I guarantee you the guy who's starring in those nightmares is Von Miller.
The most incredible play I've seen was his interception of Tom Brady in the AFC Championship.
Von Miller with the pick.
I feel like Von Miller's the type of guy that says, if I have idle time, something bad is going to happen. He's basically like my children. Like, he just has to be programmed all the time. Like, what are we doing? Overscheduling, because you got to say to Von Miller, let's go do some Pokemon Go. Just get that energy out of you right now.
What is that?
The Super Bowl 50 MVP was the third fastest to 50 career sacks in NFL history. But he has 3 million fewer Twitter followers than Tim Tebow. Luckily for Von, our list isn't based solely on dance competitions and social media.
He is a Hall of Fame talent, and I do think that's where he'll be when it's all said and done. This career is still going like this. I think when it's all said and done, he'll probably be in like the top 3 or 4 conversation.
We haven't even seen what all he can do. There's time for Mr. Miller to bump himself up on that list.
Proud of you, man, all right? I got you, baby. All day, baby. Hey, man. Yes, sir. I got you, baby.
The Mile High City doesn't just have iconic players, it has legendary fans. Barrowman and Rocky the Leprechaun fired up Broncos crowds for decades.
Getting everyone riled up. A sweaty body pressed up against the barrel.
I have a problem with people who sit on their hands, particularly when your defense is out there.
Is he naked? Is he wearing something under that barrel?
So why are there leprechauns in Denver? Is there like a small why?
They have a place in Denver history, but not on the top 10 Broncos. You've got to actually be on the team to make this list, no matter how much we love them.
What a staple. I got a lot of love for Barrowman.
The number 9 Bronco of all time, Carl Mecklenburg.
Mecklenburg, I haven't heard that name in years.
You know his nickname?
Meck?
The albino rhino. Like, Carl Mecklenburg sounds like one of the terrorists from Die Hard.
When you're named Carl Mecklenburg, you're not doing anyone's taxes in April. You're a 6-time All-Pro, crunching running backs and quarterbacks for a living. I'm guessing they ran the name albino rhino by Carl before they actually started calling him that, because you don't want to get that guy upset at you.
But you talk about a guy that just wrecked things. I mean, from when he came into the league, I think it's a fitting nickname. When you look at a 12th round pick, even back then, you were thinking, okay, this guy's not legitimately going to make an impact on our team.
Which just goes to prove nobody knows anything.
You know, I really didn't know enough about the NFL to know that I wasn't supposed to make it.
Mecklenburg, yeah, I mean, he was pretty vicious. He was a bad dude.
I got punched in the in a pop, so be careful in there. They're not fooling around. Bad dude that was going to Pro Bowls every single year, and no matter where they put him in that 3-4 configuration, was a force to be reckoned with.
We're a wrecking crew. Back in the 80s, that's Orange Crush defense.
People are painting their houses orange, and it was crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Besides his over 1,000 tackles and 79 sacks, what set Mecklenburg apart was his ability to do it all.
Just a fierce player who could play any position.
A guy that did a lot of multiple things, a little bit ahead of his time for what we see now. A lot of guys that do that, defense end, defensive tackle, linebacker, whatever it may be. Mecklenburg could do all those kind of things.
Anytime you can be versatile and be used in different positions, you're much more valuable to the team.
There was a game where he played 7 positions, basically every position but safety or cornerback. You know, the guy was like duct tape. You could use him for everything, and they did.
A guy that I think never quite got the credit he deserves because they didn't win the Super Bowl while he was there.
I think that we just got in some bad matchups. We got in situations where we were taken advantage of.
He led that Orange Crush defense.
So, I think he deserves to be on the list. Very underappreciated player.
If you're not from the Denver area and you're not over the age of 40, I don't think you understand how big of a defensive player Carl Mecklenburg was for the Denver Broncos.
Who else do we got on the top 10 greatest names?
The number 8 Bronco of all time, Randy Gradishar.
Right.
Similar to Carl Mecklenburg, our number 8 Bronco is an overlooked member of the Orange Crush who never won a Super Bowl and perennially falls short in the Hall of Fame voting.
You don't push me off. Just catch the ball.
But unlike the albino rhino, Randy Gradishar didn't have a catchy nickname. He just racked up tackle after tackle.
200 tackles for anyone is almost unheard of. Randy Gradishar averaged 200 tackles a season for a decade.
200 tackles a year for 10 years, those are the kind of numbers that Hall of Famers put up.
He was absolutely the engine of one of the greatest defenses in NFL history.
Bronco recovering. Here comes Gradishar.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. There's no question about it.
You can make a countdown of the top 10 Broncos defenders who were snubbed by the Hall of Fame. In fact, this is almost that list. Top 10 Broncos snubbed by the Hall of Fame. That's who these guys are.
Gradishar's lunch bill mentality and orange and blue collar work ethic has been overshadowed by the more iconic NFL personas of his day, and even his own teammates.
People think about that defense and they just think about the Orange Crush. Think about them as a whole. I mean, think about Lyle Alzado because of he kind of his larger than life personality.
I'll break your head. Come on.
You know, I think of Tommy Jackson because Tommy Jackson was a good player. And Gradishar kind of gets a little bit lost.
Randy Gradishar was an all-time great middle linebacker on a par with Mike Singletary, Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher.
He wasn't a butt kisser, a Ray Nitschke, or a Jack Lambert. That wasn't his game. He was smart. And maybe that's one of the reasons he's not as well regarded, because he didn't have missing teeth and he didn't do all that crazy stuff. He was just exactly where he needed to be.
To try and intimidate other ball players on the opposing team through verbal communication, I just don't do that. That's not part of my game. And I feel that my strongest part of my game is my mental outlook.
Quick count, they'll be up.
Make sure they're sit.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a little bit longer, so start watching it.
Okay.
And then that way, you can get up in there.
If you watch that team week in and week out, the best player in that defense was Randy Gradishar. Gradishar ranks with any linebacker that played at that time.
In their storied history, the Broncos haven't had a lot of heaven-sent receivers.
How about Ed McCaffrey?
Ed McCaffrey.
Ed McCaffrey was one of John Elway's favorite targets.
Taking shots across the middle. Loved Eddie Mack.
Unfortunately for Eddie Mack, he played in the shadow of the greatest Bronco receiver of all time.
The number 7 Bronco of all time, Rod Smith.
I mean, I know he's undrafted.
He didn't get drafted, right?
Rod Smith, one of the greatest undrafted players of all time.
Right.
When he played for John Elway, he was John's favorite targeter, he and Shannon Sharp.
John lost one down the left sideline. Rod Smith, touchdown! Yeah! Hey! That's after the bell. Way to go!
For an undrafted guy to make that transition and be as dominant as he was, maybe the best receiver in the AFC for a good stretch there in the 90s and into the 2000s.
Touchdown, Denver!
He's perfectly suited right there at number 7.
Who are the scouts that are missing these guys? Where did he go to school? Like Belleville Area College?
I can't think of what. I'm blanking on the school right now.
Missouri Southern. Not very good at football. Go Lions.
He kept a $1 food stamp in his wallet. Always kept it in there just to remind himself of where he came from.
He just played like a guy without a father. Always trying to prove that he's worthy of having a family. You have a chip on your shoulder, you got something to prove.
Rod Smith had a chip as big as the Rockies on his shoulder.
I think when you're undrafted, you always feel like you can lose your job.
It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. We got a 14-point lead. We should have a 28-point lead. Rod's first NFL catch was a game-winner Hail Mary on Darrell Green.
Here goes the pass. Rod Smith, look. He got it. Broncos win. Unbelievable. What a catch.
I actually took 2 first-round draft choices after my first year, knowing that we would go with Rod Smith. And you don't do that as a head coach in your second year unless you got a lot of confidence in somebody.
Kudos to him for keeping him around and recognizing the talent he had.
Everyone, when they start discussing Elway's great supporting cast in the late 90s, brings up Terrell Davis first.
It was Terrell Davis to the left. It was Terrell Davis to the right.
No one talks enough about Rod Smith.
And then it was play action deep down the field to Rod Smith or Shannon Sharp.
You need to be here with me when I go to my locker to show you them 2 Super Bowl rings. Before you start talking trash, you need to get some hard work.
Rod Smith says that Super Bowl 32 was his favorite game as a Bronco. He had 0 catches in that game. He blocked the whole time. And I thought, that sort of tells you something about Rod Smith and about his priorities and what kind of teammate he is. The fact that he loves a game where he never caught the ball.
He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He was the leading receiver on both Super Bowl teams. He rewrote Broncos record books. In 1997, he had over 1,100 yards. In 1998, over 1,200 yards. Without a top receiver like that, I'm not sure how the rest of that offense operates.
Rod Smith, Denver touchdown.
They don't win those 2 Super Bowls in the end of Elway's career without Rod Smith.
Rod Smith was a pure Bronco.
He's a Broncos Ring of Famer. He's a guy that loves the city. He's on the sidelines at every game. I mean, he's almost like a mascot for the team.
Smith easily snagged a spot on our list, but there's one thing he can't get his hands on.
This is how you become a hero, right here.
A spot in the Hall of Fame.
He's never up for Hall of Fame consideration because his numbers weren't as good as these wide receiver numbers are now, but he certainly should be.
I think he should get Hall of Fame consideration because he was just so great for so many years. Big in big games. He was really a big, underrated part of that championship team.
He is the best receiver in franchise history. To get the respect, to even make the team, let alone to be a franchise player, an all-decade kind of player, he certainly isn't getting the love from the Hall of Fame voters that he should.
Kind of amazing career for a guy that kind of came out of nowhere.
The number 6 Bronco of all time, Steve Atwater.
He's, I did a Where Are They Now 10 years later, so this is 07. He would not talk to me.
Steve Atwater's hits spoke plenty.
Steve Atwater has highlight after highlight. Boom, 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 boom. And for Atwater to come in, boom.
Showtime, baby, showtime in the Mile High City.
You had Ronnie Lott in the NFC, and Steve Atwater was the baddest dude in the AFC.
Okay, don't get mad at me, Tito. Keep your head on the swivel.
Atwater was possibly the best safety in the AFC in the late 80s and early 90s.
But the fact that he doesn't have a gold jacket is crazy because he passes the eye test.
The first image that comes to my head, I can remember as a little kid still sitting watching Monday Night Football and him knocking the crap out of Christian Okoye.
The Nigerian Nightmare ran over everyone in his path. That is, until he met Atwater.
Atwater's like a Cam Chancellor of this day and age, just a guy that he was almost like having an extra linebacker in run defense. I mean, nobody had done that to Christian Okoye to that moment.
You never saw Christian Okoye move backwards. We're talking about a 260-pound running back colliding in that car crash of a collision, and Atwater's standing over him.
Something was going on at home when that hit happened. Like, there was like somebody bumped him early that day. He's been getting bumped all day. He's like, the next person come my way, I'm make him look like they're sitting down in an imaginary chair. And that's what happened. That was an imaginary chair moment.
Like, you just gave a nightmare a nightmare. And that's embarrassing. You're the Nigerian Nightmare, and you get knocked on your ass. Do you keep your nickname afterwards? You should just be changed to Good Night. That's what it should be. Now you're just Good Night. No mayor, no nothing. You just got knocked on your butt.
And now, the number 5 Bronco of all time, Peyton Manning.
For him to be number 5 is a little suspect.
But the way you guys do lists, holy cow, Peyton Manning.
You also saw him kind of deteriorate and couldn't throw it 30 yards down the field anymore.
Peyton, quick throw, pass intercepted.
That's why he's out of town. He's gone. He's doing commercials.
Did you forget what happened in 2013? The man was lights out.
Manning's 51st touchdown pass of the year.
Congratulations.
No, that was the start of something really special that season. I think that's the greatest single season of all time, Peyton Manning 2013.
Manning to give it a gun, throws. He's got Thomas again, who's open, and Thomas is into the end zone. Denver touchdown.
Manning is hitting everybody. He's got all the time in the world, and his receivers are coming up big.
7 touchdowns? Really? Any guess who was playing against him in fantasy that night?
Tied the NFL single game record with 7 touchdowns.
In 2013, Manning rewrote the record book.
Peyton Manning, significant NFL records to be broken, the touchdown record as well as the passing yardage record.
Decker, touchdown, Denver. Peyton throws homer and goes. Got Julius Thomas there. Thomas with the touchdown, and there's the record.
He's more of a Colt than he is a Denver Bronco. I mean, with his legacy.
Top 10 Colt? Top 10 Bronco? Top 10 all-time? Let the debate continue.
I just feel like his best work was done in Indy.
But as a Denver Bronco, in his last year, he got a Super Bowl ring.
They won a Super Bowl, but it was almost in spite of you.
Into the pocket. He's got the ball. The ball is free. Denver's got it.
He did have that right off into the sunset moment, and so I think there's an appreciation there.
Peyton looks right, throws right, and the two-point conversion is good.
Peyton Manning is God. I do not know why we even debate his place.
Remember, Tim Tebow was the savior in Denver.
I remember. Absolutely.
The only guy who could replace him is Peyton Manning, and we wouldn't complain in Denver.
Our God is an awesome God.
He had an amazing run. I just don't know if I'm ready to make him the top 5 Bronco of all time. He did go to 2 Super Bowls, so as I'm talking to myself here, I'm going, you know what? He probably does deserve to be in the top 5. I don't even care that it was short. I mean, he broke the NFL touchdown record when he was there. Yes, they lost the Super Bowl, but they won one too.
Happy you're my quarterback, man. I'm happy I missed. Thank you, buddy.
When they got Peyton Manning, that put them over the edge.
The number 4 Bronco of all time, Champ Bailey.
Let's go today, baby. What we got? Let's believe the whole day, all right, man?
All day.
That's what we do.
All day.
Champ Bailey was like, you just couldn't throw him the dude, ever. And it felt like he played forever.
What do you say, old man? Let's go. Oh, yeah. How long are you going to do this? What is it? What is this, 15? 13. Come on, man.
Champ Bailey played 15 seasons and made 12 Pro Bowls, the most ever for a cornerback.
Picked off Champ Bailey with his 9th interception of the season for the All-Pro corner, who just might be the best defensive player in the game today.
Hey, this on the beginning, fellas.
But our number 4 Bronco only ranks 26th on the all-time interception list, right behind Deion Sanders.
When you talk about guys that like had their island, we talk about Revis Island or Deion Sanders. Champ Bailey was in that conversation.
The only reason his interception numbers weren't better is because offenses were so scared to throw to Champ Bailey. It's the old Deion Sanders line, right? There's other corners that maybe got more hype in his era because Champ's not a big talker.
We ain't talking fast enough.
He's kind of like the anti-new age defensive back when it comes to wanting to be a me player, you know, having celebrations, talking a whole lot. That wasn't Champ Bailey.
That's how you close the game out. Savagery at its finest. Y'all thought this was a matchup. Mismatch.
I like Champ Bailey because his nickname, Champ. That's one of those nicknames that tells you exactly what the person is. Like if I was like, yeah, I'm Fantastic Lover Freed. That's my thing. Nice to meet you.
Hey, I don't know what the hell going on.
2006 divisional game, he gets the big 99-yard interception.
Pass going to be intercepted. Champ Bailey in the end zone. Down the sideline.
And got run down by Ben Watson. How could you get run down by Ben Watson?
Did he get there? He's hit out of bounds.
I'm an offensive player. I'm a tight end. And I'm most known for a defensive play, for a tackle. You want to be known for all these things, and then God says, no, you're going to be known for this.
Our God is an awesome God here.
Fellas, let's stand up now. Let's go.
There is only one defensive player from Denver enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Our number 4 Bronco could become the second.
What a play by Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey should be a Hall of Famer, but he's a Broncos defender, so who knows what'll happen. Maybe we'll forget about him in 5 years, and he'll be with everybody else on this list who's not a Hall of Famer. Yes, I'm hot about this.
The Broncos have gotten disrespected by the Hall of Fame, but Champ Bailey will certainly be putting on a gold jacket at the first opportunity in 2019.
Unfortunately, our list is only for players, so you won't see one of the most innovative offensive minds in NFL history.
Go ahead!
Any list of greatest Denver Broncos has to include Mike Shanahan.
That was a horse call. I mean, it is horse.
You also won't see the owner who has brought 7 AFC championships and 3 Lombardi trophies to Mile High.
7 Super Bowls since Pat Bowlen bought the team. There's a standard there that he created and they've maintained.
We have a mascot bias too. So don't look for fan favorite Miles, who according to legend was born in a lightning storm after Denver won Super Bowl 33.
How many runs do you think you're going to make? 8? That's what I'm thinking too. 8 runs.
We also snubbed the Broncos' living, breathing horse, Thunder.
I think immediately you must include the horsey.
Are we going to win today? Okay.
Barrel Man and Leprechaun Man. Can they run around in a field? Yeah, they could, but they would not look as good as a horse named Thunder. That's the dopest thing in the world. Have you seen Dances with Wolves? Kevin Costner's like, I'm on a horse. He's like flying around and no one can shoot him because he was on a horse. If Kevin Costner was riding Barrel Man in Dances with Wolves, bang, done. The movie's only 8 minutes old.
Our number 3 Bronco may not be a horse, but he has an equally impressive set of choppers.
The number 3 Bronco of all time, Shannon Sharpe.
Forgot my helmet. I'm about to pull a Thurman Thomas.
When our number 3 Bronco retired, he was the all-time leader for a tight end in every major receiving category.
He could make a strong argument for number 2. He was a great part of those championship teams.
Oh, isn't he? Oh, good.
He's the first version of what we're seeing this day and age in the NFL, the pass-catching tight end, the guy that can line up at slot receiver.
Touchdown to Shannon Sharpe!
But yet also be the traditional tight end and block people down the line of scrimmage.
Now you're blocking. Now you're blocking.
Over 60 touchdowns and 10,000 receiving yards, and still none of it as impressive as Shannon Sharpe's ability to deal with Skip Bayless on a daily basis.
Do you believe? Do you believe? We believe, baby. We believe.
I remember Shannon Sharpe, but then there's also Sterling Sharpe, who was with the Packers.
I'm the best, Sterling. I'm better than you are, you know it.
And then he's like, I'm bored or injured maybe. I'm going to leave. And then Shan is like, there's only one Sharpe. I must be even more sharper.
Shannon Sharpe's records were eventually surpassed by Tony Gonzalez, but his mouth remained second to none.
Where did they get a load of me? If you leave now, you get a head start on track. Down goes Frazier.
It's a shame they made him wear a face mask. With that giant mouth of his, he could have caught every ball.
Catch everything, baby.
He's not only a great player, but he was a talker. I think if you wanted to tackle him back in the day, you should have just thrown big words in front of him.
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
He makes words come out that you can kind of figure out what he's saying.
Praise the Lord, baby. Praise the Lord, baby. Willie Williams ran Drew down. Yeah, I know. Bird ran out from under Willie Williams. I know. So, you know what that means.
That was the best part about Shannon Sharpe. He talked all that trash and then backed it up, which infuriated teams like the Patriots.
I called the president. President, we need a National Guard. We need as many men as you Lucas Farrakhan. We are killing the Patriots.
What I want to know is, in that clip, who is he talking to? There's a guy who has to answer it, and it's like, okay, you're the intern who has to listen to Shannon Sharpe this game. And this poor, 22-year-old guy named Chad has to be like, this is Chad. We're killing him. We're killing him.
They need emergency help. Please help these folks.
Shannon's on the sideline calling the president, and the guy's like, hello? I'm here to talk about the replays. Why are you calling me? This isn't a joke. This is my job.
Okay, you coming. We understand. He coming. B-R-O-N-C-O-S. Broncos.
After winning Super Bowls 32 and 33 with Denver, Sharpe won Super Bowl 35 with Baltimore.
What up, baby? We doing, baby. Looking good, baby.
But Sharpe proved once a Bronco, always a Bronco, by returning to Denver to be a veteran leader during the post-Elway era.
Throws in the middle. Sharpe's got it on the rush. Shannon, pull away.
Truly a special talent.
Touchdown, Denver.
Sometimes I think he gets lost in the conversation for greatest tight ends ever.
Shannon Sharpe was just a great player. He really revolutionized the position. He would definitely disagree that he's number 3, but I do think that's about right for him.
Our Hall of Famer, Shannon Sharpe.
Floyd Little was a star running back in Denver and became the Broncos' all-time leading rusher. So why wasn't a Hall of Fame jacket enough to get him on our list? Well, he had 52 TDs, but he just ain't TD.
The number 2 Bronco of all time, Terrell Davis.
Blitz on his way. Davis handoff. First down. Terrell Davis, 45. TD for TD. 50 yards on the carry for Terrell Davis.
There was a stretch for about 3 years where Terrell Davis was the best player in football. He won an MVP. He rushed for 2,000 yards. Terrell Davis was as dominant a player as the league has ever seen. He only did it for 6 years and really 4 where he was dominant. But those 4 years you could put up against anyone in the history of the game, and Terrell Davis's numbers will match or exceed them.
A lot of people forget that those were running teams with the Broncos. Some of the greatest Broncos teams were ground-based teams. Those running teams, even with John Elway at quarterback. So I don't know who else you could put at number 2. You'd have to put Terrell at number 2.
I think other than Jerry Rice, Terrell Davis is the best non-quarterback in playoff history.
In 8 postseason games, Davis averaged 143 yards rushing.
This guy carried them to championships. He was the key piece, not John Elway.
Wins the Super Bowl. There's no victory over the Packers without Terrell Davis.
That Super Bowl performance against Green Bay, that's one of the best I think we're ever going to see. With 157 yards, 3 touchdowns, the juke, the spin on Eugene Robinson.
Go back and watch him in Super Bowl 32. Those 158-ish yards that he makes are all man-style runs. I mean, there's nothing easy about anything he's doing there. It's not about him being elusive. He's running against a really good Packers defense, and they're tough yards.
Elway, handoff, Davis, into the end zone, touchdown! Yeah!
But he had migraines the whole time.
What's that? AC. Okay.
Whenever I had a girlfriend and she would say she had a headache and we can't go out or do other things, I just put on the tape of Terrell Davis winning the Super Bowl with a headache.
And the hearts are pounding in Denver. Nobody but Terrell here. Come on, hit it.
You're really gonna use this as an excuse?
Davis, into the end zone, rocking, standing up. Can you say Denver is in the lead? He's behind Elway by himself. He takes the handoff, running left. Terrell breaks the tackle. He's got it. There it is. Terrell Davis. He's just become only the 4th player in NFL history to go over 2,000 yards in a single season.
I know Elway was decent. If he doesn't carry those teams to the Super Bowl on his back running for 2,000 yards, Elway is never winning a Super Bowl. And then he's in that Marino category, which is ones that didn't get it done.
Had his career not been cut short by injury, we might be talking about Terrell Davis challenging Emmitt Smith for the all-time rushing record.
Terrell Davis is perfect at number 2.
And now, the number 1 Bronco of all time.
This is it. Tim Tebow's last chance to make our list of greatest Broncos.
He was doing a nice thing. He was having a very wonderful pose. Strike a pose is what Madonna said 25 years ago, and nobody listened. Nobody listened to Madonna until Timothy Tebow did it.
I like Tim Tebow, and that year was unbelievable, but you can't put Tim Tebow on this list.
Tim Tebow had a cup of coffee in Denver. He's not a legendary Bronco. He won one playoff game, but it's the same way as when a child hits a half-court shot. You're like,
Sorry to Timmy and all the Tebow maniacs out there, but when it comes to the number 1 spot on our countdown,
this one's for John.
I don't think any player defines an organization as thoroughly as John Elway defines the Broncos.
John Elway is not only the Denver Broncos, he's Colorado. He could run for governor tomorrow and win in a landslide.
Okay, I could say Elway might be the greatest Bronco ever.
Let's go. We got a chance for a big one.
But that's like comparing a human to God. I mean, it's not even fair.
Gotta say Elway. John,
Do you think I'm going with Brian Greasy?
If you think there was going to be a different number 1, then you don't know football and you don't know the Denver Broncos.
If you told me somebody else was number 1 on the list, I would probably get physical. That's a way to fight.
It has to be Jonathan Elway. Or Kerry Kittles, who played for Villanova and then the New Jersey Nets. And then, I don't know if you know, he played just 18 seconds as free safety for the Broncos in 1997.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
most people remember our number 1 Bronco capping his career with back-to-back Super Bowls.
Man, I thought this was just a picture or something.
But John Elway carried Denver on his back for 16 seasons, 9 Pro Bowls, 5 AFC championships, and countless comebacks.
The Broncos have gone 98 yards.
One of the greatest arms in the history of the league, maybe the greatest arm. He did things with a football that few humans could ever do.
Well, what can you say? Only Elway can pull that off.
You ready for a heater?
But the signature play of his entire career is him sort of wobbling and then flipping through the air to save the Super Bowl.
Head first, he dives inside the 5-yard line.
That moment, the helicopter play, that probably is the greatest play in Broncos history.
When our number 1 Bronco retired, he was the NFL's winningest quarterback.
He is one of the all-time greatest, not because he got those 2 at the end of his career, rather because he took those 3 teams in the 80s to Super Bowls. Those teams had no business getting anywhere near a Super Bowl.
Come on, Bobby, set a huddle, let's go. Come on, be a leader, set a huddle, let's go. We got to get up and get set.
His best receiver was Vance Johnson. Vance Johnson? His running back was Sammy Winder. Sammy Winder was the feature back on a 3-time representative from the AFC in the Super Bowl. And John Elway took them to those Super Bowls.
There's no debate. John Elway is the greatest Bronco of all time, and it wasn't even close.
Don't let up, man.
It's Jonathan Elway. He was so sassy and cool. And hey, guys, I'm a cowboy. Bang, bang, sling, sling, toss, toss. I'm going to lose all the time. And then I win. And then he leaves as he wins. You cannot beat this.